Hey y'all, it's Nana A. We are back on HarvestBay. As you can see, we have 3 stars, and now it's time to build. I'm excited. This is actually not one of the mandatory builds required for the challenge, but I wanted to include an apple orchard and a little area below it. I wanted the apple orchard on the above on the cliff. And then below, I wanted to add some decorations, some stalls, some apple products. Just makes me feel like fall. I'm not sure why, because we don't have apple orchards around here, but you know, when you think fall, you think apple cider, and of course, pumpkin spice everything, but apple cider too. So that's what we're going with. Alright, I went back and forth on how to do this, and I decided I wanted it to, of course, have quite a few apple trees, but I didn't want the apple trees to be the only thing up here. So I kind of put them towards the back, and then I started adding some decorations, like some step ladders. Of course, you gotta have them to pick the apples, right? And then I wasn't sure exactly how I wanted to do this. So we just kind of made it up as we went along. We're going to put some design codes down of some leaves just to have something underneath the bathtub with Uri, which I think that's how you say it. That's what I use to represent how the cider is made. Just push that back, and then I got rid of the leaves, or a few of the leaves, and added a leaf pile. I decided to go with red and brown on this and started with the red leaf pile. And I first wanted the brick wall there, but then I decided, no, we're going to put it in the back. I just wanted it peeking out, and maybe have a wooden bucket, you know, just something used to maybe fill the bathtub there with the water so we could make our cider. Oh, there's Kiki. All right. Now we have to go see Tom and get the incline. And I decided on a natural ramp for this because I wanted it to feel like more of a natural area instead of a town constructed area. Does that make sense? So yeah, I went with a natural ramp, and then I was so proud of myself after Tom got through talking, because I did remember to stop and get money to pay Lloyd. I usually forget that and put the ramp down and either forget to pay because I just don't remember the money, and the next day can't figure out why my ramp's not in, or I have to go back and get the money to pay Lloyd. But we got it this time. And at this time I also got the permits that I hadn't got. You know, I got the cliff, but there was a few, like the wooden path I wanted. Then I went back and I put down some pathing and some country fencing, and I really kind of went back and forth, but in the end I decided country fencing was the way to go. And a wild log bench. I love the wild log bench. So I just put that right there in front. That way you can sit there, maybe you're not picking apples, but you're waiting on somebody that is. So you can sit there, have you some apple cider while they pick the apple. Then I decided to add a few more trees. I'm going to put one on this side. And then, of course, some more leaf pile. And then a few natural elements, I guess you'd say. I wasn't sure how I was going to do this part. I knew I wanted to add some more fencing to go ahead and round this out. But what was I going to do in the middle? Of course, more leaves. And another bathtub. We gotta make lots of cider, y'all. And I included a sideways barrel because I thought that looked cute and it would fit right in there and take up some of that space. Then it was time to try to figure out what to put in the middle. So I decided a shrub that would fill in that space. It's natural because now it's time to add some natural elements such as the shrubs, flowers. And I use the mums for this. You know, they never go where I want them to, but. And then of course my favorite, wheat fields. I love to use the wheat fields. Let me know in the comments if y'all like to use them. And let me know in the comments whether y'all have an apple orchard or anything like this where y'all live. And then I decided to just change things a little, not that much. I just wanted another leaf pile. And then I could move that wheat field over. And I also decided that I did not like where the incline was, so I trimmed that back some, kind of rounded it off. Now I needed some more items for down here, which is going to be the stalls and where we sell all the apple products and the cider. I could not find my storage shed, so I went to the house and I got out of storage some customization kits, some weeds, just a few things that I didn't have room for in my pockets when I first started. And then I go to my DIY bench, because thank goodness I left it out in the middle of big empty area so I could find it. And I decided to use the simple panels trimmed in brown. I just thought that would go the best. And I looked through everything I had, and I just decided the apples would be the best. for my simple panels. I wanted to do 3 and hope I didn't need more because that's all I had. And then of course we had to customize some stalls. And I did a pile of zinc cushions, and I wanted it kind of in a fall color scheme, maybe. This is just going to be as decorations. And the shopping baskets. All right. Now the stall, I kind of went back and forth on. I didn't know what to do, whether to do the fall colors or the apples. And in the end, I decided the apples would be the best because there was nothing else that looked good or looked right for that area, I should say. This way, at least the stalls looks like there's also apples for sale. Everywhere, apples for sale. So I did a couple of stalls, and then we'll head back over to the area. Now I placed these 3 simple panels down because originally I'd wanted to wait to see what it looked like when the incline was put in and what I would put in that space, and then I decided nope, I was just going to go ahead and fill that space in now. So I actually moved everything over 2 spaces. And I don't know why I didn't pick them up and just put them back down, but I like to do things the hard way, so we scooted the panels over. And I wanted it so you could see the apples behind the stall. You know, when one crate of apples sold out that's around the stall, we could turn around and get another one and put it up there. That kind of feel is what I was going for. So on the stall, I decided to add a few baked goods. I know this was about apple cider, but maybe this is apple cider tart, apple cider pie, not just apple pie or apple tart or whatever it is. All right, I went back, customized some more simple panels, and y'all, we have apples everywhere. But this is about the apples. And then I decided to put some pathing down because we got to have a path in the middle. I put 2 log benches down and the pile of zen cushions in the middle. And like I said, the zen cushions will be for decoration. I'm sure somebody would try sitting on it, probably me if I was there, but it's just for decoration. And then I decided to change how I put the stalls down. I'm telling you, this went back and forth for a long time. I cut a lot of it out because we'd be here for 2 or 3 hours just trying to figure out how I wanted to do this, the backdrop of this apple cider area. So I went with the apple boxes, a stall, a barrel in the middle, and a wood box on the end there. And I did customize some bottles to represent apple cider. We're going to include another barrel. Here we're going to put some apple cider jam. some of our apple cider. In the middle, I did put an antique cash register. And then, of course, I put the 2 baked goods back over here after I moved everything for the 10th time. Do y'all do that when you're making a build, or is it just me? So then it was time to add some natural elements down here. Well, maybe not right there. Some weeds, because it is an area that would have some weeds. You're not going to do weeding every little space. Then I decided to frame it or enclose it with the country fencing to match what I'd put up on the cliff for the orchard. And I did leave the pathing down. Can't tell you why I decided to, but after I got going, I was like, well, it's already down now, so we're gonna leave it. And then I decided it needed something at the entryway, not just an opening. So we're gonna go with the Tree Bounty archway. I love to use this on any of my fall builds. Lloyd is like, oh my gosh, is she ever gonna get that placed? Calm down, Lloyd. We're getting it. He's trying to supervise and he is not helping. And then I wanted to add just some regular trees, and I decided to go with different heights. So I used some stunted trees too. Alright. I thought I had some different shrubs down by the other houses, but I didn't. Okay. So, now, once again, I decided to change things. I wanted another cardboard box, not a set of cardboard boxes, but I put a couple down. I guess it does look like a set, like the other one. I put a simple kettle in red there just for decorations, so nobody can sit down like I would and fall backwards and be a whole thing. Then I added some more shrubs, a few more mums. I just think mums are the best fall flowers. Let me know what your favorite fall flowers are to use on your island. I use different ones, but I like to use the mums. And I wanted to keep this red. A few more clumps of weeds. And I decided over here, instead of weeds, we were going to have a tree. We put a small one in a bush. And on that one, I wasn't sure if I was going to come back and bury the fruit and stun it, or if I was just going to let it grow. So we'll have to see what I decide. Because at the time when I'm doing the voiceover for the video, I wasn't sure. Okay. With that done, it's time to pay Lloyd so we don't forget. And now it's time to do the walkthrough so we can see our apple orchard / cider area. So you just walk up the path, you grab you a basket, and you can start picking apples. I added another basket there up top, another barrel, you know, just some things to fill out the area, to fill in some of the holes. And then we have our stalls, all of our apple products, the cash register, and of course, the simple kettle for decorations. And this is our apple orchard with the apple cider area. All right, y'all. I hope that you are enjoying this series. It is part of the Friendsgiving challenge started by at Kaylee Games. So don't forget to hit that like button. Leave me a comment below. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Come on in and be part of the family. Everybody's welcome. And of course, I'd like to give a great big old shout out to my channel members. Thank you so much for joining and being part of the garden. I appreciate you. And of course, don't forget to ring that notification bell so you'll know when my next video comes out. And until then, bye y'all.